Hey, it's us again, your friendly wannabe nomads. It's weird to see how far we've come from our first video to now, with only a couple videos left. So before we jump in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video.
Second countertop's in. Again, not quite big enough to comfortably fit a person, but it's in. It's just not very solid yet. So we'll probably start by skinning this side and maybe the far side. I know we're gonna have a shoe rack on that side, but over here, there shouldn't really be anything. So we'll skin this side. We'll also figure out where we want to block off our compartments here. Where I'm sitting is most likely going to be a trash can or a laundry. Probably a little bit of both, with utensils and possibly pots and pans and two little drawers here. Of course, sink over here. We have a 13 and a 10 gallon water tank. And I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to set those up yet. But I believe they're going to be standing like they are now. And of course we have our little self-priming little 45 psi 12 volt water pump here that we'll use to pull out of these two tanks up to our sink.
We got a decent bit of our stuff off of Amazon, and our sink and faucet were no exceptions to that. The sink is pretty similar to what we found at Home Depot and Lowe's, but it was actually about $100 cheaper, and the faucet was also on sale, about $40 cheaper.
Okay, here is our super fancy, definitely not centered sink with a little catch, first plug, cover up top here, and then the other nice aspects to this, little drying rack on here, quick and easy, and cutting board. Alright, that pretty well wraps up the sink. We got our detachable, rotatable faucet here. It's set up for hot and cold, but we're only going to be running cold. While we have some polyurethane drying, I'm gonna go ahead and build out our shoe rack here. It should be just about perfect. We can put boots down in the bottom, a few tennis shoes through here, and then maybe some smaller stuff up top here. I don't think I'm gonna be able to put a little shelf in here just because we're gonna have to flip up here. But if there's room for it later, I can always cut that out. That's not hard. There won't be quite enough room to fit them in perfectly straight, but that's okay. We can always just pile them in. That's not a big deal. Also, if I haven't left a link to this handy little tool, I'll do that in this video for sure. That's kind of a note to myself, but also it has helped a whole lot. It makes framing these things out so much easier. I got really tired of splitting boards.
Speaking as future Jessica, I personally love these shoe racks. Having them there has helped cut down on grass and dirt quite a bit.
It might have taken a few hours at Lowe's, Home Depot, and Tractor Supply, but we finally got everything we need to plumb the sink. I don't really have a good camera angle for it, so okay, let's take a quick look here. We got our little 1/2 inches all the way blocked up, and then we went from a 1.5 inches up to a 1/2 inch pipe to our pump. Over here we have our little recirc system. So this one goes directly back to our main tank here, and this effectively works as pressure control. So the more we have this one closed, the more velocity we'll get through going up to our sink here. Our second pressure control is here on the splitter, one going to cold water and one going up to hot. I have the cold one all the way open and the hot one about 1/4 of the way open. That way, whenever you turn the sink to cold, you got full pressure, and then 1/4 pressure when you go to hot. This is our drain tank, or our gray water tank, but I just wanted to show you here at the bottom, I have the same setup on the freshwater tank. Basically what we're doing is holding these up where they're not quite touching the bottom. Real close though, and that keeps us from getting any clogs. So we'll have our standpipe in here. It'll raise up a tiny bit so it doesn't clog, and then we'll take a sealant around here just to make sure we don't get any water splashing up. So our simple recirc is in place. Let's take a look at it up top. So that is full on, pretty decent water pressure. And if you turn it towards hot, it slows it down. So that's our pressure control. No leaks up top. There's no glue down here yet, so I'm perfectly fine with it leaking right there. And just like that, we popped a fuse. I put too much pressure on our pump here. So partially a note to future self, do not close this all the way. It'll overpressurize the sink and it'll pop the fuse. So always leave the recirc open quite a bit. Besides missing our other pump, which is on its way and will sit right here and drain our gray water tank, I mean, our sink works now. We got our retractable filling spout here, drainage system which goes into the gray water tank, and our whole apparatus, which I probably already showed, over here. So our sink works, the flip of a switch. In next week's episode, I hope you like storage space, because we get to work on our cabinets. We have our kitchen cabinets, we have our pantry, we have our microwave, our toiletries, our electronics, and clothing, all coming up next week.